20,000 active duty servicemen and women of the armed forces will march up Fifth Avenue tomorrow for the 104th annual Veterans Day Parade.
That's right, and as we prepare to honor the men and women of the armed forces, we are getting an intimate look at the sacrifices our soldiers make to protect our freedoms. Previews begin tonight for the play War Words, where actual soldiers tell their stories in their own words. We are joined this morning by one of the stars of that play, U.S. Army veteran Donald Caliste and playwright Michelle Colos Brooks. Good to have both of you here.
Thank you, thank you.
And Donald, first off, thank you for your service. And let's talk about how many tours of service you did complete and how you then came back and said, I'm going to transition to acting.
I completed 2 tours in the United States Army, Afghanistan and Iraq. And honestly, acting found me.
Oh, wow.
And yes, I'm so grateful because it's like a form of therapy for me. It helped me to find the love again. I was very cold one moment in my life, and the acting opened me back up, and I'm still finding it.
Wow, it's like therapeutic.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, Michelle, how did you come up with the idea for War Words? I mean, has it ever been done before, this type of idea?
Not to my knowledge. I mean, I'm somebody who never knew anybody in the military. You know, and at some point I realized that I was making assumptions about people in the military. I was making assumptions about a whole community of people that I didn't know. And so I just set out to kind of find out who they were and build that bridge between most of us who don't serve and people who do serve, to get to know what makes them tick and what their service has been about and who they are. You know?
But to have them actually say it in their own words.
Well, these are mostly actors that are saying the words of other veterans.
Okay.
Because, you know, a lot of people have great stories to tell,
Yeah.
but when you have phenomenal actors to tell them, then everybody can get really invested in it.
And so you really center around heroism as well as heartbreak, right?
Yes.
And if you're comfortable, Donald, can you talk to us a little bit about your experience on the front lines and some of what what you experienced that's kind of translated to the play?
Well, the anxiety of being at war, the uncertainty, but the camaraderie and the love also helps us. Even the play, it's a roller coaster of joy. It's not just all tears. Because even when we're overseas, we find some type of joy within the pain.
Yeah. It's kind of a docu-play, right?
It's kind of a docu-play. Yeah, it's using the real words of people who've served. Some are still serving.
Yeah.
But yeah, they wanted to tell me funny stories. They wanted to tell me heroic stories. They wanted to tell me sad stories. But everybody was really excited to share their stories.
And how did you go about picking who you would have as your veterans, whose stories you would share?
You know, I just threw a really wide net and interviewed as many vets as I could get my hands on. And I was so honored that so many people entrusted me with their stories. You know, it's a big responsibility.
Was there an overarching theme that you heard from those that you were speaking to and interviewing?
You know, everybody wanted us to know that they're just people.
Yeah.
Like, this is not about patriotism. This is not about policy. This is about people.
Right.
And what are the things that connect us instead of the things that separate us?
Right, and Donald, that you talk about some of that camaraderie too, that was there, but you also have a family back home that you had to worry about and think about as well. So, and sometimes some people think about the impact of the soldier or the service member, but not necessarily the impact on the family as well.
Yes, yes. That was a huge part of it because I personally didn't receive mail. And
Wow.
it kind of, you didn't want to receive the mail because it didn't want to shift you off your focus. And as a soldier, you have to be focused on the mission. You're thinking about your family back home, but if I finish this mission, I'll get to my family.
What is it that you want to be the takeaway from all of this then?
I think just sort of what we talked about, like that they are like us. You know, less than 1% of the U.S. population serves. And yet we have so many things that connect us. And there are these amazing people that go out and do things that the rest of us wouldn't do. So I think it's important, whether we support the policies of the government, whatever, that we know who they are. That's all we want, is to just build that connection.
Limited engagement. How long?
Running through December 17th.
Okay. So get the
Previews
tickets.
start tonight.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah.
And for you, Donald, you know, is this your first acting gig, or have you done things in the past?
I've done a few things in the past.
Okay.
This is my first acting gig doing this type of military play.
Right.
Yes, yes.
So how what's next? What do you want to do next? Like, is acting that's the future?
Yes, yes, yes. I love it. That's my focus right now.
Good,
Yeah.
amazing.
But
And I
again-
also, oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I also want other soldiers to see the play and heal through the play,
course.
whatever that is for them.
Right. Everybody has their own journey and their own experience, I'm sure.
Yes, yes.
But you will always carry the impact of serving with you forever.
Forever, forever.
All right. Well, thank you again for your service.
I'm grateful to be here. Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
And thank you, too, for coming in.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good luck. Break a leg. Is that break?
I need these.
I know.
Thank you, thank you.
Sorry. So tonight, right?
Tonight,
Tonight.
it all starts tonight.
All right. We'll have more information. There it is. War Words, November 10th through December 17th.